This video is not affiliated with WTC or the IRONMAN brand. It's just me sharing my passion with you.
My name's Lowell, my friends call me LG, and in this edition of TriRiot, we're talking about the 2019 IRONMAN 70.3 North Carolina bike course. That's a mouthful. Whew. Behind me in this field, that is the site of T1. That's the transition area where your bikes will be. Now T1 is in a completely different place than T2. This is a point-to-point bike. T1 is here at Wrightsville Beach, North Carolina, and T2 is in Wilmington. What I want to do right now on this episode is tell you about some of the things on the bike course that you're not going to learn in the athlete guide or on the course maps on the website. And there have been some changes from the previous year. Now, last year, 2018, we didn't have the race because of Hurricane Florence. She flooded us out, so we didn't have that race. But in 2017, we did have the race. There are some changes this year from that version of the race. So this is Causeway Drive, and behind me, that's the direction that you'll be coming from the swim. It's a 0.3 mile run, so it's almost a third of a mile that you'll be running from swim exit to transition. And you're going to run right into here, into this field. Now you can bet on race day, this field is going to be absolutely filled with bicycles. All right, let's get out there and take a look at the course. The first thing you're going to do as you exit T1 is take a right turn onto Causeway Drive. Before we get too far into this, let me explain that the first 9 miles of this course is all counter traffic. That means you will be riding in the far left lane. Okay, so the first major landmark you're going to come to is at mile 0.5, and that is the Intercoastal Waterway Bridge. This is a drawbridge, which means it has a metal surface. Now, I've got some rules to help you get over this bridge because there have been problems in the past, and as local athletes will tell you that this bridge can be a little dangerous, especially when it is wet. So if it is wet, my advice is to walk the bike across so that you don't slip and fall. It is pretty nasty if you do fall on this surface, and we want to be sure that you don't fall. But if the surface is dry and you follow these 3 basic rules, you'll be fine. The first thing is slow down. Number 2, get out of the aero bars. Ride this in your base bars. And number 3, keep a slow, steady pace as you go across. No sudden moves. You follow those 3 rules and you'll be just fine. All right, leaving the bridge takes us on to the mainland, and this is Eastwood Road. And after about 3.5 miles on Eastwood Road, you're going to come to Market Street. And we're going to take a left turn onto Market, staying in the left lane. Shortly after that turn, we take the Market off-ramp onto College Road, and we're going to use it as an on-ramp because we're going counter traffic, but normally it would be considered an off-ramp. Brings us a U-turn around onto College, and then shortly after that, we take a left turn on the Martin Luther King Jr. Parkway, also called the MLK Parkway. Now, as we ride down here, some of the views might show that it looks somewhat rural, but the city is right on the other side of those trees to the left, and there are housing developments on the other side of the trees to the right, and also the airport is off to the right as well. So you are still in Wilmington at this point. And then at mile 9.7, you'll come to the McRae Street exit. And we're going to take this exit. In order to take it, we're going to make a very hard left turn. We go down the off-ramp. Okay, we're on McRae Street. We take a left onto the on-ramp to get back on the MLK Parkway. And shortly after we get back on the MLK Parkway, we are going to arrive at the approach to the Isabel Holmes Bridge. This is a drawbridge. The surface is metal, just like the bridge over the Intercoastal Waterway. So keep in mind those rules about being safe. And shortly after the Isabel Holmes Bridge, we take a right turn onto US 421. Just about mile 11, and this is right after the Isabel Holmes Bridge, there's a right turn onto US Highway 421. And this is a highway that I know you're going to like. I hope you do like it because you're going to be on it for a while. And you're going to be directed into the center lane. That's the double turn lane, or the suicide lane, some people call it. It'll be completely coned off all the way up about 6 or 7 miles. It'll be coned off until you get out of that center lane. Both the northbound traffic, the northbound bicycles and the southbound bicycles coming back to Wilmington will be in that lane. Usually that lane is full of debris and gravel, but I've been told that it will be clean, that there will be parking lot sweepers coming in and cleaning it off, so I've been told it will be absolutely clean. Just a couple miles up the road from that turn is the first railroad crossing at mile 13.1. There are 2 sets of railroad tracks on US Highway 421 at mile 13 and 16 as you're headed out of town. And you're going to hit them, of course, 4 times, once each set going out and once each set coming back. Of course, railroad tracks are made of steel. If they're at all wet, be very careful going over them. They can be very slippery. But the thing to remember for this course is that you're riding in that center suicide lane, and almost always in that lane, the pavement in those tracks is rough. About a couple of miles after the first railroad crossing is the Interstate 140 overpass. Now the thing to note about this area, you're going to have to go under it, and there is a concrete median in that center lane where you will be riding your bike. So the bike course directors will find a way to route you around that median. At mile 15.9 is the second railroad crossing. At some point, and that's mile 17 is that point, you're going to push over into the left lane. You're going to go over into the left side because there's bridge construction up there, and it's after that bridge. Once you get past that bridge, you'll move out back to the right, but not to the center lane. You'll move to the far right all the way, and that's where the course becomes normal and you're riding on the right side of the highway. But that's on the other side of this bridge. Just after the bridge crossing, on the right-hand side, there's a wide spot in the road, and that will be an aid station. So if you're looking for an aid station around this time, just know that when you get to the bridge, there will be one soon on your right. All right, let's fly ahead about 10 miles to mile 26.7. This is an area of the county that we call Johnson's Corner. This is mile 27, and it's also mile 41 because mile 27 goes, you're just going to keep going straight up Highway 421. But the course is going to loop around and you're going to come back here right over at that corner, which is mile 41. So going straight through this intersection, you'll leave Johnson's Corner, and the highway to this point has been 4-lane divided. But just after Johnson's Corner, about 1/10 of a mile after, the highway reduces down to 2 lanes and becomes undivided. At mile 29.8 is Malpass Corner, and you can recognize Malpass Corner by the blue water tower. Not long after Malpass Corner is mile 32.2, coming to Ward's Corner. By the time you've gone 32 miles on this course, you're going to come to Ward's Corner right here. And there's 2 things about Ward's Corner that you need to know. And the first thing is that you're going to make a left turn onto State Highway 53. And the other thing to know is that the convenience store right over there has awesome hot dogs and slushies. Now you are on a state highway. Up until this point, we've been on major city roads or U.S. highways. And as you can see, there's no shoulder. The road condition is fairly good. The traffic will be light, especially on a Saturday morning, as the race will be on a Saturday. At about mile 33, you are going to make a left turn onto Bell Williams Road. Now, Bell Williams Road is the first county level road that we've encountered in the course so far. In fact, it's the only county level road that we will ride on for this course. One thing that I do want to point out is one of the landmarks here on Bell Williams Road, and that is the Statue House. I don't know who owns it. I've never met the person, but every time I ride by, I know exactly where I am when I see this house.
Now this point right here, this stop sign that we come to, this is where Bell Williams Road turns into now North Carolina Highway 210.
And it's going to take us back to Johnson's Corner. We're in the country now. We are out in the middle of nowhere, so if you hear banjo music, pedal faster. As with any course and with any intersection, there is often debris in the intersection. And so when you make turns, left turns or right turns, do be careful. Up at Johnson's Corner, we're going to take a right turn onto 421. At this point, we are headed back south towards Wilmington. And I do want to mention that the southbound lane of Highway 421 is in a little worse condition than the northbound. The northbound I would rate as good, but this southbound lane that you're seeing right now, I would give it a fair. There are some cracks, there are some seams, nothing to loosen your fillings, but just something to be aware of. And we come back to the bridge and construction, and just after that bridge, this bridge is at mile 50.5, and just after that bridge is the lane change from the right-hand lane back into the center lane. You're going to stay in that center lane through the third railroad crossing at mile 51.9, under the I-140 overpass and around the concrete median. The fourth railroad crossing at mile 54.6. To mile 56.6 at US 421 and Highway US 74. We're going to take a left here onto US 74, which will take us back over the Isabel Holmes Bridge. And remember, it's a metal bridge, do be careful. And just as you leave the metal surface of that bridge, you have a choice. Actually, you don't have much of a choice because the road will be coned. But just in case there's any confusion, you do not want to go in the right lane because that right lane actually curves around to the left and will take you back to the beach. You want to stay in this left lane after the bridge. And from 3rd Street, it's a right turn onto Front Street. And we're going to make a left turn onto 2nd Street. And once we're on 2nd Street, we make our final approach into T2. T2 is this parking lot right behind me. It's in a different location than it's been in years before. This is it. There's a slight slope to it. It's not perfectly level ground, but I don't think it'll impact you any. Well, I hope you found this video helpful. I hope you have a good race. The race, as I make this video, the race is 2 weeks away. Small details between now and race day can change on the bike course. I'll keep you posted on my blog site, on the website, which is TriRiot.com, and on the Facebook page, facebook.com/TriRiot. All right. Well, best of luck to you. I hope you have a good race. I will see you out there. You'll see me driving a big white van around the bike course. All right, until then, stay to the right, pass on the left, and keep on smiling.